Dear gentle reader of the ton, welcome to another episode of Scotty's Fancy Vlogs. It's going to be positively scandalous, darling. So welcome back to the House of Unfamous. Guys, you knew this was coming because the way I was moving on Twitter when this came out, listen, if you have not watched Bridgerton yet, bitch, pause this video, put it in your saved videos, watch for later, whatever the fuck, and go and watch the shit, okay? Because the shit is the shit. Indubitably. Now I'm going to speak about the show, and there will be little bits of spoilers here and there, but you know, this is a sexual wellness channel. I'm going to talk to you about the fucking. But before we jump in, if you are new here, please make sure to subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And you can also follow me on my socials at Scotty Unfamous on Instagram and Twitter. Enough of that. Let's get into the video. So this week I wanted to review Bridgerton because there was so much sex in it. And I live for the sex! So far this Netflix series has been viewed by over 63 million households. Like 63 million. Some people hate it. That's their business. That is their personal problem. The show's fucking good. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. If you're into a body shape, even if you like them little Mills and Boons, but I mean, I think it's hotter than Mills and Boons. A lot hotter than Mills and Boons. It's like classy porn. So if you ever need some material for your spank bank, Bridgerton. And I think that this show came out at the perfect time as well. In these trying times, this was the exact kind of escapism that we needed. So I just think it was so perfect. It was so fantastical. It was so decadent, so indulgent, so opulent. Like, guys, naturally I thought, you know what, Shonda Rhimes is my babes. I love a good period drama. And when I saw that there was black people in the period drama and they were not the help, I said, woo! Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ha, ha, ha. Bridgerton, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I mean, one was quite pleased. I love the balls, bitch. The gowns, the tits was just the whole show. Everybody together. So for those of you who have no idea what Bridgerton is, but maybe you've heard it around, or you know, maybe I am introducing it to you first. It is basically a beautiful period drama created by the Queen, Shonda Rhimes. So Shonda Rhimes is the owner of Shondaland Productions, and she's produced such epics like Scandal, Grey's Anatomy, and How to Get Away with Murder, just to name a few. So when she came out with Bridgerton, I was like, do you know what? I already know. There's gonna be dick. Let's go. And series 1 of the show is based on the book called The Duke and I by Julia Quinn, and it's a set of I think 7 or 8 books. I bought the first book, by the way, after I watched the show. I said, I know that there was filth that I missed. I know there was more fucking. Let's see. Initially, when the show was announced, I was excited because, you know, period drama with a diverse cast was just, it's about time. Because bare times you'll be watching these things and they've acted like black people wasn't invented yet. Or like if they were invented, they were just the slaves. And the fact that, you know, you had black people in court was just beautiful to me. The fact that the Queen was black. And may I also add that the Queen was based off of Queen Charlotte, who was actually the Queen of England. I think she's like Queen Elizabeth's great-grandmother or something like that. But we actually did have a black queen, but we don't learn about these things because, do you know what? I'm not going into this. I will not be upset today. Okay? Good vibes. Bridgerton vibes. But yeah, Queen Charlotte was actually a real queen. So the fact that she was included in this was amazing. And series 1 of Bridgerton follows Daphne Bridgerton and the Duke Simon Hastings and the Spoon. When we are first introduced to Daphne, you know, she is basically like the belle of the town. She's the Queen's favourite. You know, she's the buff, isn't it? She's the bad bitch of the town. The Featheringtons, their niece or something comes into town, Marina, and she's this biracial girl. She's a painting in it, and everyone basically starts looking at her. So Daphne's options, they dry up like they're dead, Sahara. So her brother, as head of the household, decides to set her up with this man. But the Duke of Hastings, Simon, is his best friend. The Duke, he's a rake. Basically a man who fuckboy. He's a rake! But he's so buff. Oh, what a beautiful chocolate man! So he's just on, I'm not getting married. I'm not doing none of this. The Duke basically, he had a bit of a traumatic childhood and said to his father on his deathbed, the Hastings line ends with me, because he hates the man. Marina's already taken all the shine. Daphne ain't got no options. So they plan to come together and, you know, fool their parents so they can stop being harassed, innit? They're trying to like play like they're in love, but the chemistry between the actors, I love in romance shows when the actors have good chemistry, because you know sometimes it looks forced, like the kissing looks dry. You just think like, why are your lips looking so tough? You know, like that, like you're not enjoying this. Does their breath smell? Do you hate them behind the scenes? I don't know, but these two, like, it was on fire. Like they was in it to win it. So they're pretending to be in love and gradually kind of falling for each other. Her brother Anthony, he just like, nah, you can't go for the Duke. Why are you here trying to mess with my sister? Like, you're my boy, innit? But you're a dickhead. Like, you can go for other girls and you're fine, but for my sister, you're a dickhead. The way that Bridgerton is set up is sort of like a period version of Gossip Girl. We have the voice of the secret character, Lady Whistledown, and she runs a scandal paper. She's in everybody's business. Anything that anybody does in Bhutan, this bitch knows, and she would just write about it and expose everybody's business. Daphne and Simon kind of become a thing with her, innit? Now, what's the first sex scene? Because I'm here talking about the story. I'm not here to tell you about the story, bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Now, before I really get into the stuff that I really want to talk to you about, I just want to get this out of the way. If you're coming here for one of those, like, woke reviews, like, oh my god, and, you know, this is not what real sex is like, I'm not here to do that. I'm not. I'm an author. I understand the way romance is written and why it's written that way. Yes, we can modernize it, but the body stripper formula, it's my shit. I love an intense as fuck, hot as fuck, toxic relationship. If you have read my books, you will know. So if you're looking for a little woke review, I'm not going to give you none of that. Like, dude, this is what's wrong with Bridgerton. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm here to tell you what was right. And what was right was the dick. So the first sort of instance of sexualness that comes out is, I think she's kind of like wondering about sex, and he's kind of like, oh, you know what you lot do when you touch yourself. Now she's like super virgin, like queen of the virgins. She don't know shit. Obviously back then, and still now, you know, women speaking about sex is very taboo. So her mum didn't really tell her anything about it, like nothing at all. She knows nothing. So when the Duke's like, oh, you know, when you touch yourself, and she's like, what? Why would I touch myself? I'm like, bitch, why would you not? He's just talking to her normally, but he's talking to her about how she should touch herself. And if this wasn't some fucking audio erotica guided masturbation shit, bro, I was like, what else should she do?
When you find a feeling you particularly enjoy, you can carry on with that until the feeling grows.
He's like, you know, you put your hand down here and you touch this and you stroke that, and when you feel like you can't take it, I was like, yes, what else happened? What's next? Thank you, next. Also, that's a good point to lead on to. The music that they use in the show is actually classical renditions of popular music. I mean, I didn't notice it because one was enraptured with the romance. Then there's a scene, right? Listen. Have you ever wanted to be a spoon? Because I have. Simon, he's eating some kind of dessert. But the way this man is licking the spoon, correct. It was correct. Here. Good sir. I said, wow. He looks gifted. Who, bitch? A spoon. The night they finally slept together. You see the way that actor moved, yeah? I know the dick hits. I just have to. All I know is there was rhythm, and there was strokes. There was technique in the strokes, I knew that the way he was moving, I said, if this was ever real dick, the dick was hitting correctly. Also on her sexual debut, he says to her, I want you to show me how you touched yourself. Because obviously after he had the little chit chat with her, she went home to practice. I can tell that you've been practicing for me. Bitch. Because do you know how hot that was? And not only was it hot, right? Like, you know, I want to see you, like, pleasure yourself. It was also so fucking healthy. I want to see what you're doing to yourself so I can see what you like. So I know how to replicate the shit that you like, because I'm here to make you come. Is there anything more perfect? Maybe I'm just looking into stuff extra because I'm a sex educator. But I just thought that was so clever. And then I remember he goes to undress. The Duke drops his pantaloons. And she looks down, and you know, like in Love and Basketball, when Monica and Quincy get naked and she looks down at Quincy's thing for the first time, she's like, whoa. And he's like, yeah. The Duke is giving that energy. Daphne looks down and she's like, and I was like, I know. It's by his knees. It's by his knees. It has to be. It has to be by his knees. Oh my god! Guys, you need to watch the show! So because he's made this vow, every time he goes to have sex with her, he pulls out. Now, can I just say this, right? Why was the pull-out game so aggressive? Man would be in the guts, like in the beat, just in the beat. And then when he's about to be, he'd be like, no! He was doing too fucking much. You can just slide out. You can just, like, you didn't need to be doing backflips out the pussy. Like, it didn't make sense. So, because no one ain't spoken to this girl, she doesn't know that what he's doing is some dickheading and that he actually can have babies. He's just, his pull-out game is strong. It's too strong. It's way too strong. You know, I said this wasn't going to be like a woke review, but just to say this, and I don't know if you don't know this as well, but you can still get somebody pregnant without coming in them. There's sperm in your pre-cum, and your pre-cum is something that's going to be coming out, you know, while you're getting aroused. Like the same way girls get wet. That's basically like your version. Your little drip, 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 drop. Drip, 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 drop. You can get people pregnant from your pre-cum. So pulling out really doesn't fucking mean shit. I do like that they did touch on the whole consent thing, you know. He was like, you know, you sure you want to do this? Do you want me to stop? Like, he checked in with her. And I think it was a good example to show people that getting consent or checking if you have consent and stuff like that, it doesn't have to be awkward. You know, people hear the word consent and then they think, oh my God, not this feminism. The way that they communicated in that aspect was really, really good. I like that they did show that on TV. It's always hot in it when they're in the throes of the love making and they're getting the strokes. Do you want me to stop? No, I do not. He's giving her the wickedest wine, bruv. He's giving her the wickedest fuck. And I'm like, oh, good, this is sick. Then obviously the pullout happened and just fucks up the base completely. Like, why would you do this to us? Because some of you find it really difficult to talk to your partner about having sex. And, or, you know, you even like talk to your peers and stuff. It was the same sort of thing that I was seeing in Bridgerton. People were having sex, people were fucking, and it was great. But it was the whole culture of, you know, we don't talk about that. And it's like, well, clearly you fucking need to talk about it, because this girl thinks that how this man is pulling out and how, when he comes, she thinks it's painful. Like, the fact that she doesn't even know to touch herself, that she doesn't even know her own body, is alarming. And this is something that's still prevalent in today's society. You know, people not wanting to speak about sex because for some reason in their heads, speaking about it is worse than actually doing it, which is fucking not. Can we all just agree right now that speaking about sex is not worse than having sex? Not that having sex is worse or bad. I'm not trying to frame sex itself as negative, but we frame speaking about it so negatively. And shouldn't that really be like the basic, like, ground zero of sexuality, that we can talk about it? Because it's really stupid that we can't. And then we've got all these people, you know, running to learn from porn, or just kind of going along with whatever their partner's doing and assuming that, yeah, I like this. And that's why a lot of women have problems orgasming, because women are told that, you know, you're not allowed to be sexual. And we also perpetuate these patriarchal ideals onto each other. A lot of women have internalized misogyny and they enforce it onto each other. And then we get to situations where girls don't know that they're allowed to speak up. They don't know what part of their body. That bare of you think that you pee out of your clitoris, and that really annoys me. Because why would you pee out of your clitoris? After this video, can you actually go and like look at your vulvas as well? Please, just for me, because you need to know your own fucking anatomy. Now, when she's having sex with the Duke, you know, every time that they have sex, she comes. And it's just not realistic. Oh my god, this is turning into a fucking woke sex video. It's not realistic, but as I said, it's a body stripper romance. It's not meant to be realistic, and nobody should believe that, you know, what you see in films or in pornography is real, because it's not. These are actors, these are performers. The shit's just made to titillate you, which is why it's so important that we have good sex education in schools and colleges or whatever, so that people are not relying on these fantasies to make sense of their own realities. As I said, I am a romance author, and I guarantee you every single time one of my characters is having sex, they is coming, they is jizzing everywhere. Because, do you know what? When you have art, whichever medium it is, just enjoy it. Okay, it's not there to teach you. I am here to teach you. Art is not here to teach you. So if she came every time, that is good for her. And to be honest, when I was looking at the stroke game, maybe she did come every time, because he knew what he was doing. He was an educated man. Once she made her debut, right, this bitch went on a world tour. They was fucking everywhere. They was fucking in the rain. He gave her picnic dick. Okay? They're outside the fucking court by the lake. And just naked, just fucking, and I'm just like, yes, yes, there was sex in the city and sex in the country, sex in the zoo directly behind the monkeys. Do you know what else I liked about it as well? Like, it just played into my fancy bitchery. Man yammed out her fanny on the winding marble staircase. At the ball as well, at the gala. If that is not fancy hoe, what is? Marble staircase, legs akimbo, gown up, head down. It was, that's one thing that I love about Shondaland sex scenes. Like, whoever choreographed them, they just get it right. Because you remember in Scandal when Fitz used to dick down Olivia, when you first looked at Fitz, did you want to fuck Fitz? No. But when he was giving it to her, you thought, you know what, Mr. President, you need to come in this Oval Office. Like, I'm just... So yeah, whoever choreographed the sex scenes from Shondaland, like, hats off to you. Pip pip bitch. Now, Daphne and the Duke end up falling out halfway through the show, because she does in fact discover that he can have babies, and this violent pull-out game is a sham. But then what I like about it is that it shows how important intimacy can be. Because sometimes, you know, when you ask people, you know, is sex important to you, and they're like, oh no, it's not important. It's not, because they feel like it's bad or like superficial to have sex up there in, you know, their top lists of needs. For what reason, I don't know why, because we're human beings and this is how we connect. In relationships, it's a means of connecting. It's intimacy, you know. You are putting yourself in your most vulnerable state and you're sharing that with your partner. So when they have their argument, the sexual tension, this desire, this longing that they have for each other, it helps to bring them back to where they need to be, okay? Sex gives what needs to be gave sometimes. This is not to say that make-up sex is the way forward every time, because sometimes it's not. It just shows that it is an important element of a relationship. I did like that Marina was there and that she was a woman of colour who was a love interest. I do hope, though, that for season 2, that we do have a dark-skinned woman who is a love interest, because all of the love interests were biracial women. And this is not to, you know, invalidate their blackness or anything like that. You know, a woman of colour is a woman of colour. But it's just nice to see variety. And it matters to the girls, okay? It matters to us. Because we're either always hypersexualized or we're mammified. So it matters. Like, we need to see it. We love to see it. I cannot wait for season 2. Oh, also, Penn Featherington has a crush on one of the Bridgerton brothers. But he likes Marina. And that's a whole next drama. As I said, I'm just here to talk about the sex. But I do like that there was plus size representation, and that, you know, she had her moment of being an object of desire. Even if it was him sort of, I don't know if he was like being nice or whatever, but I appreciated that little moment. So if you enjoyed this video, or you're going to watch Bridgerton after you've watched this video, give it a thumbs up, okay? If you would like to see more content from moi, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on all socials at Scotty Unfamous. The links are all below. I'm going to have some videos on the screen here that you can watch about more sex stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheers, darling. Why can I know? Goodbye. I always have to say something extra. Goodbye.